Welcome to Niche with Diksha. Today I have another amazing guest, Shaz Ahmed, who is a mortgage expert. Welcome to Niche with Diksha, Shaz.
Thanks for having me. It was a good surprise when you messaged me and really kindly asked me to come on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Let's talk about who is Shaz Ahmed.
Okay, who am I? I am a property finance professional. I'm a mortgage broker is essentially what I do.
Yeah.
But I think on top of that, what I do is content to help people who are watching learn more about finance, the tips, the tricks, the theories, things to avoid. So even if they don't end up working with me, they have some more information to make better decisions.
Yeah, that's very good. So, Shaz, you have been broker for 11 years. You set up company in 2022?
Right thereabouts. Like I said, I always have to check LinkedIn just to see exactly, but yeah.
What made you do that?
So I was working for corporate companies before. I've worked for Barclays and Lloyds. And that was okay, but it was pretty mundane. If I'm looking back, very mundane and just like a monotonous type role. They made us redundant, Barclays did. And then I started with like a specialist company, similar to what I do now, on an employed basis. But I was only there for 11 months. And that's when I thought, look, I've been made redundant, then I've been sacked. I kind of need to do my own thing on a self-employed basis. So I did that for 2 years under a different company. They were great. But it was like a natural progression then at that point to do my own brand and own business. But I left that very well. It was important to me to not burn bridges or kind of pull a fast one. So we both managed the process very well. They were like, oh my God, you're going. And they're quite sad about it. But I was like, look, if this isn't going to happen. And very supportive,
Yeah, okay. So, you also talked about like calling grannies and selling windows.
Oh, that was, so my first ever job, I was in high school. You've done your research, I like this. I work for a company called, I work for a window company, like a telesales window company. We had an office and the role essentially, we had a massive phone book to call everyone on that phone book, which could be old people, young people, anyone, vulnerable people if I'm honest, and pressure sell them home improvements, windows, doors, fascias, gutterings, garages. I was good at this, right? Yeah. But the thing was, what I learned as I went on was they were very, very pushy. So they'd have us on the phone and they'd have canvases on the floor, like just in the area. And they would tell us, look, as soon as we get in someone's house, we're not leaving until they sign, on the dotted line. And it'd be payment plans of like maybe £5 a month, but forever. So it's quite unethical, and I think GDPR wasn't great from thinking back because it was an open phone book of people's data. I don't know how they got that. But I think sales is a good skill to learn, and it depends how you do it.
Yeah. Okay, Shaz, which one is easier? Doing a job was easy, or building your own business is easy?
Sometimes I miss having a job. Like getting paid on sick days, paid holidays.
Every month.
Yeah. But look, the freedom you have when you have your own business is unmatched. I work when I want. I kind of control my hours. I'm very good now with boundary setting. I get to do things like this, without worrying. So I guess doing a job, you've got a lot more safety net. But once you've developed your business to a certain level, I think a lot more freedom is there.
Yeah. Okay, Shaz, let's talk about how much do mortgage broker charge?
It varies. No. I think it's interesting because there's no even though, so I work in the unregulated space, which is with investors, buy-to-lets, bridging, commercial. If it's a house you're going to live in, that kind of mortgage is regulated and there's a bit more FCA guidance on it. But there's still no control around fees. They don't set guidelines of this is the minimum or maximum. What they say is the fees have to be kind of consistent. So if I charge you one, I have to charge everyone else the same unless there's a very good reason, right? So in terms of how brokers make money, some brokers, including myself, we charge broker fees. That could be at the start of the process, could be at the end, could be on offer, on completion, it could be whenever, because there's no guidance or regulation. Now, regardless of whether a broker charges a fee or not, the lender will also pay them. So if it's a mortgage, the lender will pay them on completion, which can take 3 months. Normally it's 0.5% of the loan size. So again, it depends where you operate. I do a lot of stuff in Wales, which is where I'm from. It's a lot of small loans, but then I do a lot in the Midlands and London, which is bigger loans. On bridging deals, lenders pay more, typically 2% of the loan size.
Bridging finance,
yes. It's a lot more lucrative just from the finance perspective.
Yeah. So we worked with a mortgage broker, and he charged something like 450 for a certain point, and then he increased to 650. Like, we were so surprised. Like, how can he do that?
You just like, they were fine with 450.
Yeah.
No, so what you should have, regardless of unregulated or not, is like a fee agreement at the start, which says this is the service we offer you. This is how much we're going to charge you. This is when. Is it refundable or not?
Okay.
You should at least sign something to say
right.
these are the fee structures.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Shaz. So, like, I see you everywhere.
Thank you.
And I have watched other videos as well, and even the host, they say, like, they mention about you seeing everywhere. How do you manage time?
I'm very good at managing time. I think that's the long and short answer. In a way, this kind of social media stuff, podcasting, or going away from the office, let's say, going away from home, I treat that as part of my job. And if I don't do it, someone else will. If you messaged me and I said no, you'd find another mortgage broker to come and have this conversation with. So I'm just good at managing time. I've got admin staff in the office. So I'm not worried about missing emails or calls because they'll be dealt with. And it's just little things. Do you want it bad enough? So, for example, let's say I was traveling here today. I stayed over last night. If I was traveling here today, I would leave early enough to have an hour at a service station to answer emails.
Okay.
That's not extreme, but you need to do that. So this conversation doesn't mean I'm losing clients. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just good at managing my time.
Okay.
And also, I'm also good at repurposing the content. So people will think I'm everywhere because this conversation might end up with 5 clips, right?
Yeah.
I might post them over 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm not everywhere. I just happen to have a conversation that's spread out over time, right?
Okay. So that's how you post your contents?
Yeah.
Oh,
or
okay.
I get tagged in things. So I was at this business dinner yesterday. They might tag me in something about it tomorrow, over the weekend, next week. I'm not there, I'm in Wales now, but do you know what I mean? It's just perception.
Okay, Shaz, let's talk about how do you close deals? Is it through social media? Is it through networking? How do you close deals?
That's a good question. I'm so glad you asked. No, it's a very good question.
Yeah.
So, because people often ask me, they'll say, Shaz, do you get leads off social media? And I think it's not as easy or simple as that for me anyway. By the time someone messages me on Instagram, for example, to say, Shaz, I've got a deal, can you look at it? They'll also say, I've saw this post that you did. I've seen you on this podcast, saw you at an event, heard you speak at this thing, and now I want to work with you. So there's 3, 4, 5 touch points already. So they're a very warm lead or very warm client. They want to work with me. So I don't have to close because they've been referred by someone. There's so many extra touch points. The DM is just the last part of it. If you see my videos, I never say contact me for more. It's just here's the value and do what you want with it.
Ah, okay. All right. I'm going to use that for my next content. So, one advice you would like to say for people who are very shy and who want to go into networking events and make connections?
I'm very shy.
Okay.
So, it's a good question for me. I think, again, one, it's part of your job or your business, right? Your business needs you to do networking and speak to people.
Yeah.
Secondly, I guess it's just understanding. First is getting over yourself because other people are shy as well. It's not just you.
Yeah.
And no one cares that much about you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, great, you're shy and what?
Yeah.
Do you want to go home? Or do you want to meet and speak to different people? And I think you've got to be very intentional with it as well. What are you there for? What value can you add to these people? I've said this before, and I'll say it now. It's like they say, if you network and if you hang around millionaires, you'll become the next millionaire. That isn't true because it's not just going to happen. You have to be adding value to them in some way. So figure out what your value proposition is. How can you be valuable?
Okay.
And then people will just be drawn to you. I also do, and this is what I did when I was starting because I was shy, was a lot of pre-networking. So again, let's say you were hosting a networking event.
Yeah.
And it was on Instagram. And I imagine as people were buying tickets, they'd post a story, say, I'm going to be at this event, excited for it next week. You would reshare that, right?
Yeah.
With me so far?
Yeah.
I would then start messaging those people, saying, oh, hey, I'm going to be at this event next week. What do you do? This is what I do. Let's be friends. And we'll see, and you do that 3 or 4 or 5 times. When you come to the event, you're not as anxious anymore because you know 5 people.
Yeah, okay. So that's how you overcome shyness. Oh, okay. Very shy at first.
I'm still shy now.
No, you don't. You are
in
not.
a room with new people, I can't introduce myself. I like people to introduce me.
Oh my God.
Like breaking the ice is not easy for me.
Okay. Have you ever faced rejection in life, like work related?
Yeah, of course, man. Like often you get people who don't want to work with you, or they found someone who they've given a better offer, a better proposition. That's fine. It happens. I think I don't take it personally at all. there's enough business to go around. Like there's hundreds of mortgage brokers in the UK. Everyone pretty much is thriving, so there's enough clients, enough business to go around. I don't get precious about it.
Okay.
I think ultimately, if someone's working with me and they go to someone else, then we were never going to be long-term business partners or clients anyway. Yeah, it's life.
So you don't pursue them.
I don't pursue them to get business, but I may just say, look, just so I understand from a feedback perspective, was there something that we could improve on from a business perspective? But even if I'm like, if someone comes to me with a new inquiry, and if I can tell, or they mention they've got another broker looking at it, I'll politely step back, because there's no point for double the work being done. But then they're like, oh no, I'm just comparing. I was like, yeah, that's fine, but you've got someone already, a qualified professional on it.
Yeah, you've done your research already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's talk about burger restaurant. So,
Hey.
how was it for you?
It was a happy accident. Like I never intended to be an award-winning burger restaurant owner. I think we did it when I was being made redundant, so I had like gardening leave for 6 months where doing nothing and had a bit of money.
I think you did it with your family members.
Yeah, I did it with my brother-in-law and his business partner. So they're in the trade. They have like pizza places and stuff.
Oh, okay, they're still in the business.
Yeah, that's their business. Like they do restaurants and takeaways.
All right.
And my involvement even to their businesses was the designing and the graphics and branding. I'm good at that. So I was like, here's your menu design, here's your shop front, here's your sign. I was happy doing that, right? But with the burger, I was like, look, there's a gap in the market. In our local area, there's no halal burger restaurants. To be fair, there's no burger restaurants. I'll do the graphics, I'll do the branding, I'll do the designing. And he was like, well, look, you've got money and you're doing nothing because you're losing your job. You're going to put some money in and be a partner. I was like, okay, well, let's do it. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I was very, very involved, from the cooking to washing the dishes to serving. I wanted to make sure I could do it all. I think that's one thing I learned a lot from that business was it's important anyway for me to understand how to do every part of the jobs.
Okay.
Because
so you were micromanaging?
I wouldn't say micromanaging, but I was learning to do everything.
Okay.
Because then, if I was ever perhaps pushing someone too hard, and they said, "Well, why don't you do it?" I was like, "Well, I can because I have."
Yeah.
I washed so many pots and pans in that place.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was enjoyable, and I got to be very creative with the menus. I could name the burgers after my favourite songs or films or rappers or whatever.
Let's talk about having Asian parents, Shaz.
Yes.
Asian parents are typically about, like when the children, they wanted to do something out of doctors or engineer, like they are a bit skeptical about other jobs or the business. Like, how was it for you?
I've got great parents. So my mum has always been, I think I realised this, by the way, was about university time. So when obviously you got university results and it was a case of what subject do you want to do in uni, I was like, I want to do media studies, which, I'm really, it doesn't mean... Did
you do it?
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay. And mum was just like, look, you can enjoy it? I was like, yeah. She goes, is there any job prospects after? I was like, yeah. She goes, okay, look, if you think it's a good choice, then that's fine.
Okay, so...
And we had a similar conversation when I was like, look, I'm going to go self-employed.
Okay.
I've got no income, I've got no money coming in, but that's what I want to do. And again, mum was like, look, if you think it's right for you, then fine. So yeah, they've always been very supportive. And my mum obviously gets very proud when she sees my videos or the awards and things, and she loves it.
Okay, that's so sweet. Let's talk about clients, Shaz. How many clients have you done until now?
I dare not guess. Enough, lots.
Okay.
But what I will say, if I compare my number of clients to other brokers, it's probably less. But I have a lot more repeat business, especially with investors, because obviously they
always come around. Yeah. Have you ever dealt with Nepalese clients?
I haven't actually. No.
No. Okay. Because there are lots of Nepalese clients, and they are needing our help. And
what's the property market like over there? Is it not as good?
Nepalese,
in Nepal.
Not in Nepal. Like many Nepalese people are in UK.
Okay.
They come from Gorka background.
Right.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
So they, I think every year they come around like 300 to 500. I don't know the exact number, but they come, and then after like 3 years they started buying properties. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've not had clients per se, but there's always an opportunity, right? And there's lending available, so
you might from
after this podcast.
Yeah. All right. Have you ever dealt with gifts?
So do you mean like, for example, a deposit, but the
Yeah,
money is a
deposit
gift from
gifts,
someone else?
yes.
Yeah, that's fine in general, as long as the gift is from an immediate family member, so mum, dad, brother, sister, or spouse.
Okay, so it's not about the friends.
Can't be friends, no.
Okay.
No.
What about the investors?
So investor loans are okay when it's bridging finance,
Okay.
or some commercial lenders, not many.
Okay.
If it's a mortgage, it has to be your own money or money within your company. What you can do, let's just get a bit technical, is there's some lenders,
Okay.
for example, there's a lender called Kent Reliance.
Yeah, Kent Reliance. Yeah, we have worked with Kent
Right,
Reliance.
so if you are a director,
Okay.
but you've got a shareholder in the company who's got less than 20% shares, so 19% or less,
Okay.
they have to be a shareholder. They can put money into the business, the property
Okay.
business. There's no checks done on them, so they could be foreign national, they could
Oh,
be
right.
based abroad.
Okay.
But then it makes sense for them to put the money in because they're a shareholder. So it's not a gift, it's shareholder money, and they're based abroad. So there are some lenders who can do it.
Okay, so Kent Reliance is one. Okay. So is there tax in gift deposit?
Tax on gift?
involved?
I don't think there's tax on gift, no.
No? Okay. I wanted to ask you about the residential. How many residential can a single person buy?
To live in themselves?
Yes.
I think it's all
Or
about...
investment as well.
Well, in terms of residential, for your own use, I guess 2 is reasonable. The lender would question why.
Okay.
Why do you need 2 houses or 3 houses? And I guess the common reason would be, one is my home and one I need just for work. But I want to own it and not rent it, maybe.
Okay.
But can you afford
Okay.
2 residential mortgages? It's difficult. In terms of investments, you can buy as many as you want, as long as you
Yeah,
got
about the
deposits.
buy-to-let, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people buy a residential property and then they sell it and then again buy another residential property. Like, I think home movers, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. How many can they buy? Like,
They can
while doing-
go as long as they want. I think it just has to make sense, because by doing that, you save a bit of tax and stamp duty and stuff, because it's still your main residence.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do that as many times as you want.
Okay.
Because you're just moving house.
All right.
But what you want to avoid is things like you buy a house, but the clear intention is to maybe demolish it, go back to brick, do an extension, and then sell it. If it's flipping,
Okay.
if that is going to be your source of main income,
Yeah.
then you probably shouldn't do that.
Okay. So will the mortgage lenders will know about it?
I guess they won't know, but you got to think, for residential mortgages, normally you've got the high street lenders, Barclays,
Yeah, yeah.
Lloyds. There's not many of them.
Yeah.
So at some point they will catch
Yeah.
on, right?
Yeah. Okay.
They'll see in a short space of time you've moved this many times and you've sold many times.
Yeah. Okay. Because many people are doing in Nepalese community, so that's why I wanted to ask this.
Yeah.
So you said you don't work with residential clients. Why is it SARS? Is it like
No. There's a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
I think one, if I'm being completely honest, financially, investment business pays better. The bridging loans that I mentioned, they pay more.
okay.
Commercial lending pays more. That's, if I'm honest.
Okay.
But secondly, investors will come back more regularly.
Yeah. More than
You
the
get your residential
yeah.
mortgage, you're fixed for 5 years. You won't come back for 5 years.
Yeah.
However, having said that, residential clients, they do love you more because it's my first house. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Whereas investors are very direct and to the point. But yeah, investors come back regularly. They also refer a lot of business in. They'll tell all their investor friends.
Yeah.
And also, I think from a business perspective, because they're treating it like a business, you become part of their business. You're
Yeah.
the finance part of that
Yeah.
property business, and I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So is buy-to-let easier than residential mortgage?
It's less regulated.
Okay.
So with residential mortgages, from a broker's perspective, there's a lot more paperwork that we have to do. A lot more kind of advice that we have to give, and everything has to be documented. With a buy-to-let or non-regulated, there's less of that. You still have to give advice and still have to keep paperwork, but it's not as stringent.
Okay. One common mistake people do while buying property?
They do not plan ahead of time.
Okay.
Especially in regards to their credit files or credit reports, and also their proof and source of funds. So 2 things: credit file, credit report. Go on www.checkmyfile.com.
Check my files, yeah.
It's free. You can cancel within 30 days. The reason I only recommend that is
Cancel in 30 days.
yeah. But the reason I recommend that, it's very colourful. If you've seen it, it's very visual.
Yeah.
So you can see at a glance, and also
Yeah.
it pulls from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. I also want to just highlight the credit score itself. So the 999, that's not that important.
Okay.
The reason being is that score is just internal for each individual agency. What is important is the 1s and 0s.
Okay.
So on the report, you'll see like American Express 000. That's fine. That means you've made a payment each month on time.
Okay.
If it says 1, that means you're 1 month late. If it says 1, 2, now you're 2 months late. So you want to avoid getting into late payments that way.
All right.
It's also handy to see if you've had any county court judgments, CCJs.
Yeah, CCJ.
You'll know if you've had one. People come to me, I didn't realise. You probably did know.
Yeah, you can check CCJ as well on some of the websites.
And I've had a few recently where people have ended up being financially associated with a previous partner or someone they've lived with. And it can impact your credit if they've got really bad credit.
Oh, okay. So this is a new thing.
And also make sure you are registered to vote where you currently live.
Okay.
Because that will improve your credit profile overall.
All right. Okay.
So that's credit. And in terms of like deposits and source of funds, it's great. You got your deposit. Where has that money come from? That lenders will ask. And if lenders don't, solicitors have to ask as part of anti-money laundering. Okay, and you could say, yeah, it's a gift from my brother. Amazing. Where has he got his money from?
Okay, yeah.
It's not us being difficult. Lenders and solicitors need to know. Yeah,
they're going to ask you like 6-month statement from your brother as well.
Yeah, and if your brother says it's savings, show me the build-up of the savings.
Yeah.
But that's more for the solicitors, but it's just be clear on that because these are things that could delay applications.
Okay. What about when someone wants to, sell land in Nepal, for example, and then want to bring their money in UK and then use that money for buying property? How does that work? Yeah,
that'll be absolutely fine as long as there's a paper trail.
Okay.
And as long as the solicitor in Nepal has followed the anti-money laundering procedures.
The thing is, we don't have anti-money laundering in Nepal. So that's why we have to put like 6 months in our bank.
So is there like an equivalent of a land registry over there where transactions are logged and documented?
Yeah, it's kind of, how do I tell it? Like, there's no many rules.
Okay.
There's no any.
I know this. Yeah.
Yeah. So when the solicitor asks for where's the money come from, then we have to provide 6-month statement. That's how you can secure your money into buying property.
So Nepal isn't on any sanctions list. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, as long as a solicitor over there or over here can just sign it off that I'm happy that the funds are clear.
Okay.
Then it's fine.
Is it the same with Pakistan as well?
Yeah, Pakistan it's a little bit more difficult because Pakistan's not a sanctioned country, but it's slightly higher risk than some others.
Okay.
But as long as it's a paper trail and as long as it's all clear and a solicitor signs it off, you're good to use.
Okay, so we can get one solicitor from Nepal that signs off like they have got this money from buying land, selling land. And then we can use that documents in here.
I mean, the ideal situation would be you've got a solicitor who's got an office here and in Nepal.
Oh, okay.
But there's not many of those.
Yeah.
That works in the UAE. There's some now who've got offices in both places.
All right, got it. Let's talk about should people sort their finances first and then buy property? Or should they, get advice from mortgage broker first and then...
Yeah, good question. I think they should probably do everything together.
Okay.
But they should also allow 6 months of lead time. So speak to someone now.
Okay. Then after 6 months you can...
Yeah, but with the intention that your broker should give you maybe a 3-month plan or 6-month plan to say, this is what needs to be in place. These are things that maybe stop spending money on or improve your credit file. That's more for residential. I think with buy-to-lets, it's a bit easier to get finance anyway.
Okay. So how many months is it to get finance in buy-to-let?
I mean, you could set up a limited company today.
Okay.
Brand new company.
Yeah.
And as long as your set up a company bank account, you can get a mortgage started today.
Starting today?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as then you've got your deposit proof.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about how do lenders decide on lending criteria?
A lot of it is down to how they're funded.
Okay.
So, for example, with bridging finance, a lot of lenders are not banks; they're private funders. Some of them will use their own money, so there might be wealthy families or hedge funds. But a lot of them are funded by other banks. So you'll find that, like, this bridging lender might have some money from Shawbrook Bank, might have some money from Lloyds Bank. Ultimately, they'll have guidelines of how they can build their criteria. Lloyds Bank might say, you can't have people with bad credit. So that lender, they'll build their criteria around what their funder says.
Okay.
With buy-to-let mortgages, again, it depends on where the money's come from. So if it's a building society, they obviously have their members and they have to abide by their criteria. It's just down to where they're getting the money from. If it's savers' money and the risk potential on the savings, how can you lend the money out?
As a borrower, what do we need to take care of while buying property?
Everything. Paperwork.
Let's talk about buy-to-let because you are in buy-to-let.
That's my thing. Yeah. So take care of like everything in terms of paperwork. I think treat it like a business.
Okay.
So if you've got a limited company,
It's a business eventually.
people forget you are not your limited company. Your company is a separate entity. You can't spend money for the company without it being for the SPV's purpose. So treat it like a business.
Okay.
I've had clients decline cases before where in the SPV, so in the limited company for the property, they were spending money on gym membership.
Okay.
They were spending money for like property training courses as well.
Okay.
And also they were getting money in for property consulting.
Okay.
Now they were like, look, the gym membership, okay, we understand,
Yeah.
it's whatever. Like, I'll change it, I didn't realise. But they were like, surely property courses or consulting, that's still property. But it's not, because the SPV, so buying and selling of real estate and renting property in and out, it's not for making money from property training or spending money on property training. So separate those transactions.
Okay.
Be ready to fill in some forms. Some people think, if I'm using a broker, there's no forms to fill in. Well, there's one form to fill in, so I have your data, and then you've got to sign stuff. And unfortunately, a lot of it is still paper-based.
Okay.
As much as, e-signing, DocuSign, ID with videos,
Yeah.
it's not really happening yet. It will soon, but
Okay.
not so much. You have to be ready to pay fees. So again, forget the broker fee, just like lender fees, valuation fees, solicitor fees. People, again, sometimes are surprised by the upfront costs.
Yeah.
So just to talk about it now, on a buy-to-let mortgage, you'll always pay for a valuation. So the lender has to come out and value the property.
Yeah.
Some of them now are doing AVM, so online valuations, but let's just ignore that. So you pay for a valuation.
Yeah.
Most lenders will give you a copy of the report. Some don't.
Some don't. Yeah.
And they don't have to, honestly, because you're paying for a report on their behalf. It's not for you. If you want a home buyers or structural survey, get it done yourself. But this is for the lender.
Okay.
Solicitors, you have to pay for your solicitor,
Yeah.
and you have to pay the lender solicitor.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, some lenders, especially in limited company side of things, will have like a panel. They'll say, look, these are 20 solicitors that we've vetted and we're happy with.
Yeah.
If you use one of those, that's called dual representation, where they'll work for you and for us. It's cheaper because there's less people involved. I think the only drawback, I suppose, is that you may not be able to work with your solicitor because they're not on the list.
Yeah.
But the solicitor costs for a limited company mortgage, maybe £1,500, £2,000. Valuation depends on the value of the property, obviously broker fees. So up front, you might be paying £3,000-4,000 before you even got your mortgage.
And people are really surprised.
They're surprised, and often they think, what am I getting in return?
Yeah.
It's like, we'll get there, you'll get something in back.
You'll get your property.
Yeah.
Okay. So, many people do mistake, like after, how do I put it? Like after they apply for mortgage, they tend to buy
Yeah.
cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why people do
Yeah.
it. Like,
And then, have you ever dealt with a client, like sort of they bought some cars
similar,
and then
yeah.
declined?
It's weird because, let's say you apply for a mortgage today. There's steps, right? You apply for a mortgage, underwriting happens, and evaluation happens.
Yeah.
All being well, you get a mortgage offer. That mortgage offer, it says legally binding as long as nothing changes.
Yeah.
Right? So you get the mortgage offer and legal starts, solicitors as their work. That could take maybe a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
And then you complete. People between offer and completion think, that money's in my bank soon. And they will start silly spending, or I've not had silly spending, but I've had issues where people have had bad credit in between.
Okay.
So they've picked
So
up.
is it because of mispayment?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what people don't realise is lenders on the day of completion, a lot of them now will do another credit check.
Oh, okay.
So if anything's gone wrong between
Okay.
offer and completion, suddenly you can't get your mortgage because your circumstances have changed. So
okay.
it's not sensible. Don't do anything until you've got the money in your bank.
Okay.
Then buy a car.
Okay, so within 3 months, we have to take care of our credit as well.
Keep on top of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay, this is the new thing that I've learned today. Okay. You talked about taking care of the credit score. Like, what app do you recommend? You talked about many apps.
I think
what do you use?
I just use checkmyfile.com.
Check my files.
I pay
I
for it.
think £12, is it?
It's £12 a month, something like that. And it's just it's mainly because it is colourful, like very visual, which for me is great. I'm blind, and also I think the other thing is it pulls from Experian, Equifax.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, not all the time, but Equifax and Experian will report different things,
Yeah.
or one may be out of date. But having everything on there, you can see what the lender sees on that. They don't have like an app though, so there's not notifications, but they will send emails if there's an update.
Yeah, but when I used check my file, and then in Experian my credit was showing like 899, and then check my file it was showing so less. Why is it?
So this is what I mean. That number is just an internal metric they've got. So
Okay.
each company has a different way of working that out.
Okay. Someone taught me that if I get credit card,
Yeah.
and then if I don't use that credit card, it will my credit score will go up. Is it true?
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
Because let's say you get a credit card which you don't use, there's something called a credit utilization,
Okay.
and that figure being low because you don't use your credit means you're not maxing out your debt, your potential.
Okay.
So yes, that's correct. Now, would I encourage someone to take out a credit card, increase their limit, and not spend on it? I probably wouldn't be giving that advice because it's quite risky.
Okay.
Because having a card in your hand is quite tempting. But yeah, that does work.
Okay.
So yeah, basically, yeah, if you increase your overdraft, increase your credit card limit, or take a new credit card, but don't spend on it, it does improve your credit because it shows that you have a level of credit that you've not used. So your credit utilization is low.
Okay.
But that's not advice. I should be really clear.
But don't take out credit card in the middle of applying mortgage.
If you don't need to, don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about interest rates today, Shaz. What's the buy-to-let interest rate today?
Today, it's interesting because
Is it going down?
the Bank of England base rate has been steadily going down. With buy-to-let rates, what's happened is over the last year, lenders want to lend money, right? They don't make money until they give you the money,
Yeah.
right? So that's what people. But because the stress testing is different and the cost of money is different, you've now got rates. You can get rates as low as 3%,
Yeah.
maybe even lower.
Is it buy-to-let or
Buy-to-let,
Oh,
but with a
okay.
fee of 10%.
All right.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Or you can get a rate of say 5% with a fee of 2%. So you need to compare the total cost over
Yeah.
the 2 years or the 5 years, because otherwise, if you're getting a 75% mortgage, people don't realize this. If you take out a 75% mortgage
Okay.
and you get a mortgage then with a 10% fee, right? You're actually borrowing 85%, and you're paying interest on that, and it's interest only.
Yeah. Interest
So
only. Yeah.
let's say it's a 2-year fixed rate. If property prices haven't gone up, or they've stayed the same and nothing's really changed the market, when you come to remortgage, you're now on an 85% mortgage. Is there going to be any lender that does that? There's maybe one or two, but suddenly you're going to be stuck. You could become like a
Yeah.
mortgage prisoner. So adding fees on or taking a low rate because with the high fee may not be sensible, I don't think.
So you don't recommend that?
Well, everyone's got different circumstances. I think if someone said to me, Shaz, look, my main priority is cash flow. I don't care what the fee is. I just want to make as much money per month. And then I suppose they would go with that.
Okay.
But if someone says, I want to just pay back the least amount of interest over the fixed term, then you look at the other option. But I still highlight that, look, these are high fees. Just to make you aware, you're going to have this conversation in 2 years, and this is how much you're borrowing right now.
You talked about stress test. What's a stress test, Shaz?
Now we're getting technical, right? So on a residential mortgage, the amount you can borrow is based on your income
Okay.
and your expenditure.
Yeah.
4.5 times your income, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
On a buy-to-let, what lenders expect, and there's differences, so this is just a general thing, but they expect that the rent needs, so the market rent, by the way,
Yeah,
needs to
market
cover the interest-only payment, but not just the payment, it's a ratio.
Okay.
If it's a limited company you're applying with, it's 125%.
125. Okay.
Yeah, but if you're applying in a personal name, then it depends on your tax bracket. If you're low rate taxpayer, it's lower, so 110, 120. If you're higher rate, 145%.
Okay.
But still, on top of that, if it's a 2-year fixed rate, it's the mortgage payment, but it's a rate of like a stress rate, maybe 7 or 8%.
Yeah, 7%. I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a 5-year fixed rate, they can use the rate of the mortgage product, which might be 4 or 5%.
Okay.
So it's an enhanced rate to make sure that the rent can cover
the rent,
mortgage.
covers the mortgage. Okay. Okay.
But this is why I think using a broker helps, because we can do the calculations and make sure it fits.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing we're good for.
Yeah. Do you have any prediction for interest rate?
I think they'll steadily keep coming down, steadily.
Down. Okay.
But I think house prices will keep coming up as well.
Okay.
We were having these conversations last night, actually, that the struggle to buy a house, even if to live in or even to invest for younger people, is very, very hard.
Yeah.
And the gap between landlords or people who have assets who can just keep buying more and more and more versus someone who's trying to buy their first just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So I can see house prices keep rising for that.
Okay. So, do you work in Wales and England?
Yes.
Both?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think this was kind of intentional when I started
Okay.
networking and stuff, that I could either just rely on Wales and do deals in Wales and be a local celebrity, a local mortgage broker.
Okay.
Or I could,
Yeah.
listen, humble, or I could put myself out there
Yeah.
and just work anywhere, because it doesn't make a difference. So I have a lot of clients in the Midlands. I have some in London, a lot in Manchester. Still have a lot, fair lots in Wales as well. But that's because of the networking. It's weird, so I say that, and I work everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't need to meet people.
Yeah.
But because I travel a lot, I end up meeting everyone anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where do you think, the houses price have risen up? Like, is it in Wales? Is it in Midlands or in London?
It's interesting. So Wales hasn't. I mean, in the cities,
Is it
of course.
constant in Wales?
In the cities, yes, of course. Cardiff has gone up, and Newport, where I live, has. But like in the Welsh valleys, which is where investors invest, they've stayed pretty stable. So you can still buy a property 75, 80,000.
Okay.
Spend 20 on it.
Oh, is it that low?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, we used to live in Brecon.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the houses price used to be 300.
Yeah, but Brecken's a nice area.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, spend 20, 30 on it, and it still refinances at 150-ish.
Okay.
So I've got clients who do this regularly because it's low cost of entry, right?
Okay.
You don't need a lot of money. You can,
Yeah.
especially if you live in London, you make London money, spend it in Wales.
Yeah.
So in Wales, it's done well, and places like up north, like Hull, similar market to
Okay.
Wales, where cost of entry is lower. But across the UK, generally, house prices have just gone up, haven't they?
Okay. So, do investors invest in Wales?
Yes.
Like buy-to-let investor? Are they investing?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is it in the Wales valleys, like you talked about?
It's the valley. So any area where you can't pronounce the name, that's where they invest.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're not investing in London area. They're investing in Wales.
I think London is if you've got money behind you and you're happy doing commercial
Lots
conversions,
of money.
lots of money, or
Yeah.
investors, raise money from other investors. You want to do commercial conversions, change old offices and banks into HMOs.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. I've got clients doing that. I've got people doing like service accommodation in London. But if you want, BRR, buy, refurbish, refinance,
Yeah.
that's generally Wales and Hull.
Okay. You talked about service accommodation, Shaz. Like, I've heard, service accommodation mortgage is different.
Yes.
So what's that? Can you tell me?
No,
about
absolutely. So with a buy-to-let, you have like a tenancy agreement
Okay.
or occupational contract in Wales. Now they've changed the name of it, and that's income from a tenant. They pay month on month.
Yeah.
With short-term letting or service accommodation, which is maybe on Airbnb, you have guests.
Okay.
You don't have tenants. And that straight away is attractive for a lot of people with the with the reforms coming in. There's a lot of money to be made because depending on how you dress the property and market it,
Yeah. It all depends on
you charge a day rate. But what smart people do is they don't go for the day rates. They don't go for like the weekends or
Okay.
like the stag parties. They try and get maybe a 3-month booking from a contractor
Okay.
or like a relocation agent or something because they pay better. It's guaranteed money that's coming in advance.
Yeah, you don't have to sell cleaners every
Absolutely.
day. Yeah.
And if there is any issues, you just get rid of them because the guests, they're not tenants. So it's very popular right now. How lenders assess it, that's your question,
Yeah.
is if it's a buy-to-let, it's on the rent. On the short-term rental, it does depend. So if it's a proper, like a holiday let, if it's in an area where, like maybe a seaside, like Blackpool, Bournemouth or something, where there is seasonal demand.
Okay.
Lenders understand that and they'll treat it like a holiday let. They'll need a letter from a local holiday agent giving the high, low, medium figures.
Okay.
And they use a 28-week average of the actual booking kind of data
Okay.
and lend on that, right?
Okay.
If it's more, and this is what more popular is, if it's like your uncle's house, you just put an Airbnb,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
or
yeah.
a flat or an apartment. that is a simple short-term let mortgage. Lenders will still use the market rent,
Okay.
so AST rent,
All right.
for
Okay.
affordability. As long as that works, you can do the short-term let.
Okay.
But people don't realise that, but that's more common because lenders have the fallback position that if the Airbnb doesn't work, it still rents as a single let, so why not?
Okay. So do we have to tell our mortgage broker if
Yeah,
we want
yeah,
to change into
absolutely.
SA, service accommodation?
Yes.
Or we can just go on with the normal mortgage?
Well, I mean, look, if you did that, it would be a breach of your mortgage conditions because in your mortgage it will say, you must rent this on a standard AST for this many months.
Okay. Okay. So how long should people reach out to mortgage broker before buying home? Is it 6 months?
If it's your own home, as in one you want to live in, 6 months. I think
6 months.
you really want to build a relationship. You want them to give you like a plan, a budget planner, income, expenditure. How much can you actually afford? And I used to do residential mortgages, so I'm happy to talk about it. Like,
How long did you do residential
when I was at
mortgage?
Barclays, so
okay.
before the burger place.
Okay.
But like, so you go through. Let's say you went through an income and expenditure, and you found out that you have £1,000 a month disposable income, right? What people don't realize, and maybe bad mortgage brokers don't realize, that doesn't mean you want to spend 1,000 on your mortgage. You may say, look, from 1,000, I still only want to spend £500 on a mortgage. So you need to work out your disposable income, but what's also your budget? How much do you want to spend? Because also that's your mortgage. You got council tax. You got your bills.
Yeah.
Normally you should double up what your mortgage is, right? So that's that. I think 6 months is sensible.
Okay.
That gives you enough time to keep your credit clean, build up your proof of deposit,
Okay.
and just plan. Viewings take a while. You
viewings.
love the first house you see, right?
People
When
even take 1 year.
Yeah,
to buy
absolutely,
the homes.
absolutely. In terms of investment properties, I think some people work backwards. They tend to find a property, maybe speak to a sourcer, and then look for recommendations from mortgage brokers.
Okay.
So they come to me quite new, but they're ready with a property and they just want to crack on with it.
So let's talk about some deposits, Shaz. Some buy-to-let, when investing buy-to-let properties, some lenders say 25%, some says 35%. Why is that?
So that's what they call loan to value. How much will they lend based on the value of the property? On a buy-to-let, typically it is 75%. If it's commercial or semi-commercial, they might reduce it to 70% just to manage their risk.
Yeah.
Other situations where they might reduce how much they lend is based on personal situations. So foreign nationals or expats, 75 is available, but they might reduce it. These days, there are some lenders on the buy-to-let space doing 80 and even 85%.
Oh, okay.
But again, I just think personally, I think that's really high leverage. I wouldn't risk going on an 85% mortgage. I don't see how it's sensible. But 75% is the common way.
So in London area, like the lending criteria, they ask the lending, they ask like 35% deposit.
That might be if the rental doesn't stack up. So London specifically, because house prices are so high, rents are good, but they're not as good as what the house prices are. The stress test might not meet the 75% loan.
Okay. So it all depends on the stress test.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Shaz. Do you recommend people paying off mortgage early in buy-to-let property?
It depends on what they would be doing that for.
Okay.
As an investor, you really want to have an asset, but you want to leverage. It's all about leverage, right? So if you've got a mortgage-free house or buy-to-let property, if you've got another project, it's opportunity cost. You could leverage that to buy another property. So I don't see the benefits as an investor to do that.
Yeah, Nepalese people, Asian people, we are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They want to
They want
to have a repayment mortgage.
Yeah.
Because they want to leave something to their kids.
Yeah. So that's why I asked you about that. Okay. What do you think? When's the best time to buy property?
Yesterday. No, I think the best time is whenever you can. I think it's a good store of wealth in general.
Because people like to wait, they will.
Yeah, I think, but how long will you wait for? And how you can't time the market. It's a cliche, but you literally can't time it. It's the same as like when I say to people, do you want a 2-year fixed rate or a 5-year fixed rate? They'll say 2 years, and they say, because what if rates go down? But I'm like, what if rates go up? Like, you can't time it.
Yeah.
If the deal works.
You don't know the market.
Yeah, if the deal works, the deal works. And
yeah. About the interest rate, Shaz, we see interest rate in news. Do you get interest rate before us?
No.
No,
But
do you get to see in the news as well?
yeah, we
Okay.
see the live announcements. But
Okay.
what is worth mentioning is when the Bank of England base rate, if it does change, it doesn't affect fixed rate mortgages.
Okay.
The way lenders decide interest
Yeah.
rates is something called a swap rate.
Okay.
So they will lend each other money, or through European channels, and they do that on a 3, 5, and 10 year basis.
Yeah.
So those swap rates control fixed rates, not the Bank of England base rate.
What about the variable rates?
Yeah, so if they're tracking the Bank of England base rate, they'll go up and down straight away.
Okay. So you talked about interest rate mortgage. Do you recommend interest rate mortgage or repayments as a mortgage broker?
On an investment, I mean, we have the conversation, but generally most investors will go for interest only. They're not concerned about paying the mortgage down. They want to have the lower payment for cash flow purposes.
Yeah.
And then when the time comes, they can just sell the property
Yeah.
and go again.
So how long should people get fixed rate for? What do you think?
So,
Five
yeah,
years?
typical options are 2-year fixed or 5-year fixed.
5 years, yeah.
The answer is always, it depends on the conversation. But
Yeah.
I always say to people, look, I can't tell you what to do, but there's questions to make you think, right? So, 2-year fixed rate means you're going to have this conversation again in 2 years. Which could be good because you might want to pull some money out. If you think, the value is going to go up, you get a chance to remortgage, raise some money.
Okay.
Or if you think rates are going to go down, then you're not fixed for that long. You can renegotiate in 2 years.
Okay.
Great. On the other hand, with 5 years, you get 5 years where you can just budget. 5 years, forget about it. It's the same payment each month for 5 years. If you think, rates are going to go up, then you protect yourself for 5 years as well.
Yeah.
I think another thing to think about for investors is if you've done the buy, refurbish, refinance, then in theory you've turned the worst house on the street into the best house on the street.
House, yeah.
So you've maxed out the value. So really, in 2 years, you're not going to get a chance to pull money out because people are catching up to you. So maybe 5 years makes sense then.
Okay.
If it's a normal purchase, then maybe 2 years because you might do a bit of decoration, might do a small refurb on that.
Okay.
So it's questions I give rather than telling me what to do.
Okay. So BRR, you recommend going for fixed 5 years?
After you've done the renovation, because you've maxed out the street value, so everyone else on the street now is going to catch up to you.
Yeah.
So how in 2 years are you going to pull money out of that?
So what's the difference between fixed rate, tracker? What's the difference between that?
So a fixed rate simply means that the rate is fixed for X amount of time, 2 or 5 years.
No matter
what happens in the economy or anything.
Yeah.
With a variable or tracker, I'm glad you've used those words because it can be misleading. So a tracker mortgage tracks something. It can be the bank's, the lender's variable rate, or it could be the lender's tracker rate, or they might say it tracks the Bank of England base rate. So what does it track? A variable rate is similar, but it's controlled by the lender. So it's they can choose to put it up and down as and when they want. It's not fixed. It's not tracking anything.
Okay, they're controlled by the lenders.
The variable ones are. The trackers will track something. So at least you have some idea of what it's tracking.
Yeah.
With the variable, it's variable. They can choose what they want to do with that.
So shared ownership, Shaz. Some partners, they do share ownership and then they split.
Happens.
Yeah, I want to know like what happens to the mortgage then?
So I don't...
If they wanted to sell it.
I believe, so it's not something I've done personally, but I believe with the shared ownership, if there is a dispute or whatever, they are still equally and jointly liable for the debt.
Yeah.
So they still have to manage the debt correctly. It's not on one person to keep paying the mortgage. It's on both of them.
Yeah.
Are you asking if they sell?
Yeah.
Well, if they sell, they both get equal proceeds of the sale. Yeah, so when they sell, if the mortgage is clear, any money left over is 50-50 off the back of that.
What about if someone wants to sell and other one doesn't want to sell?
Tough. I mean, no.
Have you ever had that sort of client?
What they can do is they could do like a remortgage with a transfer of equity. So someone partner A could say, look, I really want to keep this property.
Yeah.
So I'll do a remortgage with another lender. I'll pay you off as well with the money that I raise. That, as long as it's all done through solicitors, that's fine. But I don't do the residential stuff.
Okay. What about in buy-to-let? In buy-to-let also, some people
so in buy-to-let, it's actually really important to highlight this because it's happening more and more often, maybe because people are feeling the pinch. If you've got a limited company, let's say me and you are in a company, right, and we have a dispute, and you come off the company. You can't come off the company.
Yeah, because of the mortgage.
Because of the mortgage. Suddenly the mortgage now is null and void. Right, and also people can't come off the company without any financial money being given to them. If there's assets in the company and money in the company, you need to be paid something to come off the company.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're in a limited company with other people and there is some dispute, speak to your solicitor and accountant about the right way to come off. But if you've got mortgages there, speak to your lenders as well.
First,
Some lenders may say, okay, fine, we'll just send you a new set of terms to keep the other people on. But most will say you have to remortgage with us or someone else, because that's not... We agreed to lend to this company with these two directors who were given personal guarantees. This person is now gone. Our loan is no longer valid. We need to renegotiate.
You know, one scenario I had, like, client, she had dispute with a partner, and then the partner, she removed her partner by herself.
Wow.
With being mortgaged on that limited company. And the lender, she said, they said that she needs to pay the mortgage within certain days.
Yeah, well,
I think it was 50 grand or something within certain days.
Yeah. It happens. I've had it recently where these two sisters in a company together, I had a personal issue, dispute. This one sister just suddenly came off the company.
Yeah. They removed themselves.
And the lender sent them a letter, sent the other sister a letter saying, look, you got 14 days to pay us.
Yeah.
Or remortgage and we'll just keep on that. So we've remortgaged elsewhere. The problem was that same lender wouldn't accept a remortgage from the sister.
Okay.
So she had to go to another lender completely, pay new valuation fees, pay new broker fees, pay new legal fees.
So much of hassle.
Yeah. So there's ways to do it, manage it properly.
Yeah.
Ideally at the end of the fixed rates.
Don't go with the impulsive emotions. Okay. So what's the average age of, buy-to-let buyers?
I think it's changing. I mean, again, people think property is an older person's thing. It's not really, especially with social media where there's a lot of education and training. A lot of the younger generation are getting into it, especially with rent to rent. I mean, look, rent to rent, I'd say is like under 30, But in terms of buy to let investors, I'm seeing a lot of younger people, late 20s, early 30s, where they've saved a lot of money or they got investors somehow. And now they're doing the investing.
Do you prefer do you prefer young clients or aged clients?
Do I prefer Asian clients or
Old clients, I mean. Old clients
or young clients. Sorry, I don't really mind actually. as long as they know how to play the game. And when I say game, I mean they know that this is what I'm going to be asked for. This is what I'm paying. This is when I have to do it. They don't ask questions like, "Oh, is this really necessary?" Well, yeah, you're asking for a couple £100,000. Of course, it's necessary. As long as they understand that, young or old doesn't matter.
Okay, so does age matters when lending?
Nope. Different to residential. So if it was residential, once you go past age of retirement or 70, they want to know how you're going to keep paying the mortgage if your mortgage goes past that. On a buy-to-let, generally no. The lenders go to 85, 90, or even there's a lender that will go to death basically. As long as you start the mortgage before 65, they'll just go on and on.
Okay, let's talk about, a client I had, she was buying property and then she had a mortgage offer and everything, and then she suddenly left her job. Yeah. So what happens then? What happens next?
Again, on a residential, that...
And the my client, like her mortgage was declined.
Yeah, on a residential, they should...
Not residential, buy-to-let.
On a buy-to-let, after offer.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be an issue because they don't check that after offer.
Okay.
Unless you told someone and someone's reported it, they shouldn't ask. However, she may have told the solicitor.
Yeah.
And everything you tell your solicitor, they have to report back to the lender. Just that's their job.
Yeah.
So be careful what you tell your solicitor. Not to mislead them, obviously, but just manage what you tell them. Maybe speak to your broker first and say, look, I've had to change circumstances. What you suggest? I'll give you an example where it's this is not fraud. I've had a client who had a mortgage offer. After offer, this is a buy-to-let. After offer, they've moved house. And we know they're going to do a new credit check. She's like, Shaz, I've moved house. I'm going to complete next week. Should I change my addresses? I spoke to the BDM at the lender, said, look, this is the situation. They said, Shaz, look, if she changes everything now, we're going to need new proof of address. It goes back to underwriting. She probably can't complete next week. She said, look, if she hasn't moved anything across, then on paper she still lives at the old address, then let it complete and do it afterwards.
Okay.
So, and there's nothing like misleading or untrue or illegal. You're just managing the process to make it smooth for everyone.
So changing address is also a huge issue.
Because they got to do a credit check, haven't they?
Okay. Let's talk about self-employment, Saz.
Yep.
Is it hard to, buy property if you are self-employed? Residential.
For
let's talk
residential,
about-
it can be, yes. Residential.
You talked about in one of your podcasts about this topic.
Yeah. So if you're self-employed as a company director or sole trader, the first challenge you've got is proving your income, because you might want to be tax efficient, pay yourself the tax-free allowance, and maybe take some dividends, and that's it. But then when you come to get a mortgage, they're going to use that small income and say 4 times. That doesn't work. There are some lenders who can look at net profit in your company, which can help instead of taking, so you haven't got to take all that money out. So yeah, it's more of a challenge. Also, just people remember who are watching, sole trader, you've got your tax calculations, and that's at the end of the year. If you're a limited company director, you can take dividends, and you can pay like salary to yourself as wages. You get a pay slip.
Yeah.
People sometimes think because they get wages, they class themselves as employed. You kind of are, but from a lending perspective, you're self-employed, so you still have to get your tax calculation and your tax year overview.
Okay.
Lenders also prefer that you've paid your tax before you apply. So if you've got like a payment plan, they will question it why you want to plan.
Okay.
So if pay your tax on time is the thing.
I wanted to ask you, I am paying myself like 12,700
Which is
yearly.
your tax-free allowance.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And then I wanted to buy, for sake, like £1 million property.
Yes. Good luck.
Yeah. No.
Let me find another broker for you.
No, I wanted to ask you, what sort of documents or what do I need to do?
So speak to a good broker first of all.
Okay.
And this is where people should work in specialist niches. So find a good broker who works with self-employed or company directors.
So you don't do that?
I don't do residential.
Okay.
Full stop.
Okay.
Yeah, but you need to find a lender that will work with net profit in the company.
Net profit, okay.
So rather than you having to suddenly withdraw a lot of money and pay tax on that, they can work on net profit, and that might work for you. So it's possible, but it'll be a smaller pool of lenders.
Okay. So how much dividend we can give ourselves tax-free?
Tax-free dividends.
Is it 2,000?
Something small. They keep reducing the tax-free allowance. It's so silly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I got to live my lavish lifestyle.
12,700 yearly.
Yeah, how many mocktail can I buy with that?
You don't do cocktail?
No, I don't drink.
Why?
Muslim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it easy to buy commercial property, Saz?
You know what? Sometimes it is easy to buy investment or commercial properties, because then it's more on the asset rather than you as a client.
Okay.
So as long as the lease is good in place, so if you've got like a franchise, like a food restaurant that's a franchise, that's a good lease, strong lease.
Burger restaurant.
Yeah, burger restaurant. So commercial is nothing's easy, but it's a bit more straightforward because they look at the property and the asset, the income. You still have to have good credit, or whatever, but it's more on the property.
So which one is easier, the commercial property or the buy-to-let property?
I mean, look, I think as a broker, I make everything easy for my clients.
Nice one.
As long as you've got a good lease or you've got good tenants, it's straightforward. I think where it can be a challenge if there's anything unusual or unstandard. So you buy-to-let is fine, but then suddenly if you've got social housing, vulnerable tenants, that's a challenge. Commercial might be fine, but suddenly if it's become vacant or it's what I find is some of my commercial clients, there'll be a takeaway downstairs, amazing. They're using upstairs as living quarters for the staff, but that's not what they're meant to do. The lease doesn't cover that. Things like that.
So which area do you prefer to buy-to-let properties?
Wherever it makes money. It's numbers, isn't it? It's a numbers game. Because people do...
Right now, you have done...
So I think Midlands is still good.
Midlands, okay.
I know Article
Which
4,
areas of Midlands?
like Derby, Birmingham, Coventry.
Okay. Coventry.
Yeah, Article 4 is in, right? But people often think that means you can't get HMOs. It just means you've got to get planning. And they will give you planning as long as your plans are good. So yeah, and if you're going to go through planning, suddenly you might do an 8-bedroom or a 7-bedroom, and you're going to make a lot more money that way.
Okay. Do you use AI in your business?
Yes. I use,
Is it the chat GPT?
I use AI for a couple of things. Personal development. If I'm ever having a back and forth on email with someone, I've done this recently. I had a bit of a dispute with someone on email, And once it was finished, I copied the whole chat, put it in the chat GPT and said, who was more unreasonable? And it said it was me. And then I went back and said, okay, let me give you more context.
Okay.
This. They went, oh, on second thoughts, you were less unreasonable.
Okay.
But what I use it for as well is, if you look at my social media, I'm always up for a lot of awards, right? Which is great and it's cool. I use ChatGPT. So I'll put in ChatGPT, this is the award. This is what the category is. This is what they're asking for.
Okay.
And I'll tell it, these are my achievements, but can you make it in a way that meets what they're asking for? And it works, clearly, because I'm up for a lot of awards. Also, I use ChatGPT for coding. So I'm in the middle of building like a bridging loan calculator.
Okay, bridging loan calculator, okay.
So if someone wants just a quick quote, with it's not a quote from a lender, but it's just based on indicative figures. Because often, that's all people want. There's no point having a phone call, just jump on and put your numbers in. We can, working on that as well. So it's good for coding.
Okay. So any app do you use for your business?
ChatGPT all the time. It's the first thing. No, I mean, look, we've got to obviously have like customer relationship management systems.
Okay.
Sourcing systems for Google, all that stuff. I mean, I like my tech, but I like cameras and lighting and things like that more.
Okay. So bridging finance, Shaz.
Yes.
What's the criteria of bridging finance, and why is it so expensive? Because we have paid a hell lot of money.
Listen, bridging is great. Bridging is great because it means you can buy a property that's not habitable. You can get money quickly, and you can get money for work, so renovation costs as well. So bridging is handy. You ask why it's expensive, because if you think about it, buy to let, they're lending you on a house that you're going to rent out. Bridging, they're lending you on a house that no one can live in. You're going to turn it back to brick, so you're going to lower the value and before you increase it. So there's a lot more risk involved.
Yeah.
But also, it's expensive compared to a mortgage, but it's not a fair comparison because you're only on it for 6 to 9 months, maybe 12 months tops. So you're in and out relatively quickly. They can lend you more than what the property's worth. If you think about it, if they're going to lend you money for the work as well. So there's a lot more flexibility with it. And it's short-term finance. It's unregulated, so you go crazy with it. The criteria really is, does the deal work? What you're buying, what you're doing to it, how you're going to pay us back, and how realistic is that? To the degree, I'll give you an example. I deal with an introducer who helps clients who are facing bankruptcy.
Okay.
I think what they have is, if they settle their debts within, I think, 2 or 3 months, the bankruptcy gets written off and they've sold the property or the debt.
Okay.
We've got lenders who can help with that as well. Because ultimately they just care what the exit is. Well, the exit is to sell.
Okay.
You haven't got to have good credit to sell a house. So, they just care about the exit.
Okay. So let's talk about CCJ. You talked about bankruptcy.
Yes.
So how long people can get off CCJ?
Once you've got it, it takes 6 years, but...
6 years?
6 years.
6 years?
6 years.
Oh my
God. But you
God.
shouldn't get one in the first place. Listen, Dixon.
But still, some people are unfortunate.
I am getting less and less
Is there any other way that we can...
No, but they shouldn't have a CCJ. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting less and less sympathetic the more I see them, because you can't just put a CCJ on someone. There's a process, right? Process is, you get a parking ticket, your friend tells you ignore it, you just don't pay it. You then get a letter, which you ignore. The parking company has to follow the correct process, which is going on gov.uk and filling in a form.
Okay.
As long as you got your home address, they can do that. You ignore it. They do a second, which is called it's called a notice of serving or something, serving notice.
Okay.
They do that, and again, your friend online says ignore it. They can't do anything. You ignore it, and then you get a CCJ, right? If once you've got a CCJ, you settle it within 30 days of getting it, it gets rid of it. People then don't even do that. So there's a whole process and an extra 30 days. And so I think people who say I didn't realize I had one, or it's been a mistake, or it's not my fault, kind of is, because you had a chance to not have it. Right? You had so many opportunities.
Yeah, so many opportunities.
In my opinion, pay that £30 parking ticket and then argue about it afterwards. At least it's paid.
Do you want to give any sales tip?
Sales tips.
Because you talked about some sales tip in one of your podcasts.
Yeah, no. I think sales is it's all about energy and exchanging energy and value. As long as you're solving a problem, you should be selling. So not everyone's a customer. Not everyone needs something yet. They might need something 6 months down the line. So I think it's about having as many conversations, because someone might not be ready to buy today, but if
They will come.
if you left a good impression, they will come.
Yeah.
And no one cares how good your previous call was. So I could have, when I was selling windows, and getting told to F off on the phone,
Yeah.
the next customer has no clue. Unless I make them aware by being low or low energy. So keep the energy high.
Okay. So you have done 2.2 million deal, is it?
Yeah, in Bath.
2.2.
Yes.
2.2 million. Was it the buy-to-let property or is it the commercial?
That was a luxury holiday let in Bath. So what my
So is it the
clients
essay?
did? Yeah. So
Okay.
what my clients did is they it was it's-
Oh yeah.
sorry, it's a grade 2 listed building, and they converted it then into I think 3 flats.
Okay.
They're going to use for luxury holiday lets, like swimming pool and all that kind of stuff. It's in Bath. We did the bridging loan on it. We did the renovation costs
Okay.
and the exit as well. And it's a good deal. Overall, very good deal.
So Saz, you talked about listed building. We cannot, convert listed building into anything, isn't it?
It's a grade 2 listed building. You can if you get the planning and the consent.
Okay.
Which they had. So they had a good architect, a good planning consultant.
Okay.
They followed the rules, and they
okay.
managed to make this beautiful thing.
Okay. What was the commission?
On that, it was actually I'm transparent because it's on the paperwork.
Yeah.
So on the bridging loan, I reduced my commission on that. So I mentioned with bridging lenders they pay 2% of the loan size.
Yeah.
But what a lot of clients don't realize is there's the difference in commission on a mortgage versus bridging. On a mortgage, the commission the lender pays could be £10 or £10,000. Doesn't affect the mortgage payment. It's absorbed by the lender.
Okay.
On a bridging loan, it does because the lenders will charge you, the investor, a 2% fee. That gets paid either the whole thing or 1.5% or 1% gets paid to the broker from that.
Okay.
So on that deal, they were paying 2%. I think the loan was, I think it was like 1.2 million. The loan, which is for the purchase and the
1.2,
works. Yeah. So that would have meant I would have got 24,000. But I said I agree with that because these are long-term clients. I said, guys, look, I don't need that much money. As much.
Oh my God.
No. As much value as I'm adding, I'm not adding that much value. If I'm honest, there's no point being greedy. And also, they're going to come to me for the remortgage. So yeah, we halved my fee, which meant the lender paid me 1%, but also only charged them 1%. So they saved £12,000.
Wow.
I got paid 12 less,
Wow.
but I still got paid 12. So 12 there.
Yeah.
And then on the refinance, I think the lender paid 20,000. So it's a good deal for me and a good deal for them. I don't. Yeah, when I've told people before that I reduced my commission, they were like, "Are you stupid? Are you silly?"
Yeah.
No, I'm just not greedy. Yeah.
Because they're gonna come back again.
They're gonna come back, and
Yeah.
I've not added that much value in their lives. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Okay, let's do something fun. What do you do for fun, Saz?
I've started playing paddle actually.
Paddle.
I've started playing paddle.
What's that?
It's very trendy in London. It's like indoor. It's like tennis and squash with the glass.
Okay.
I've started playing that recently. I'm not very good at. I don't play racket
Do you
sports.
play that in Wales?
In Wales, yeah, we have tennis courts and we have paddle courts in Wales. Thank you very much. So I've just started doing that for, I guess, for fun, but also cardio because I don't really move much. So that's fun. That's my little thing.
Okay.
My friends were like, "What's your intention? Why are you asking us to play?" I was like, "I just want to have some fun."
Okay.
Yeah.
So the funniest clients you had
Funniest clients.
or experience?
I mean,
Weird.
I like clients who get it. So Tej Singh, one of my famous clients, he's very direct, and anything he doesn't like about solicitors or lenders, he'll just say it directly, and we enjoy that because he understands that anything I'm asking him is not for my benefit. It's just lenders are being awkward or whatever. And he bought 15 properties in 12 months in Wales.
Wow.
And that was
When
fun.
was that? Is it 20 this week?
This
year?
was 2 years ago. So what's good now is he's coming to refinance now. So every now remortgage, and he's like, Shaz, these rates are ridiculous. I'm like, yeah, the market's changed. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy helping people. I think funny or fun. I don't do fun. It's work.
Okay. One piece of advice for everyone. Any?
Oh, not just property.
Not just property.
I'm a big believer in proof of concept. So if you try something and it works, keep doing it or adapt it and do it better.
Okay.
I think this includes me, like, in business or when I was developing. If something is working, you'd be absolutely silly to not keep doing it. The hardest part is doing it first time around, right?
Okay. So, do you read books?
I listen to audiobooks and podcasts.
Okay.
Yes.
Which one is your favorite one?
I like Alex Hormozy's books, or the
Okay.
audiobooks. He's got a new book coming out end of August, I think, as well. He's really good at sales and just talking about business in a way that makes sense. I think he filters a lot of the high level stuff out. It makes sense.
It's very direct.
Yeah, to the point. Very, very, very useful. I also like, this is very cliche, I like Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah, Gary Vee.
I
He's
like,
very direct as well.
yeah, he's good. I like his energy again. He's very high energy. He's got that accent that I like. And the other person I like listening to, he hasn't got a book or anything, is a guy called Daniel G. He's a sales trainer
Daniel
from
G,
Canada.
okay.
He's got this young Italian energy. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. I think, that's the end of it, Shaz. Yeah. Thank
amazing.
you so
Well,
much.
thanks for joining me on Niche with Diksha. Please tune in, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shaz. Yeah.
Take care.